Do you know what a night hag is? You feel like you wake up while sleeping, but you can't actually do it. Your eyes are open. You can see your surroundings, but you can't move. You struggle to breathe. You want to make a sound, but no sound comes out. Among the public, it's called carabasan. In medicine, it's known as sleep paralysis. Fortunately, it usually lasts a short time.
But what if you never woke up?
12-year-old Martin Pistorius, living in South Africa, develops an illness that no one can make sense of. First, his voice weakens. Then he becomes unable to speak. He stops eating, constantly dozes off, and becomes a dull and withdrawn child. Doctors think, but they can't make a clear diagnosis. As months pass, his condition gets worse. He becomes dependent on a wheelchair. In a short time, he is unable to speak, unable to feed himself, and completely dependent on care. Doctors tell the family the heartbreaking sentence: most likely permanent paralysis. He has 2 years left to live. Martin is placed in a care facility. From the outside, he is assumed to be alive, but he shows no reaction. He is thought to be in vegetative state. But the truth is this: Martin is there, awake, aware of everything. About 2 years later, his consciousness returns, but his body is still motionless. He can't speak, can't move, can't make a sound. People talk, laugh, and argue next to him, as if there isn't a human being in the room. What happens in the care home is sometimes tragic, sometimes horrifying. Martin feels pain, but there is nothing he can do. One of the hardest moments is when his mother says this sentence one night, and Martin collapses inside. I wish he would die. His mother doesn't know that he hears it, but Martin hears it. For years, in order not to fall into despair, he creates worlds in his own dream realm. He watches the ceiling, tries to estimate time by following how the sunlight moves across the wall. The TV constantly shows the same cartoons, especially a pink dinosaur. Inside, he screams, "Please turn it off," but no one hears him. The year is 2001, exactly 12 years later. A major change happens and his life changes. Verna, a caregiver at the facility, truly examines Martin's eyes, and she notices something. Then she asks a question that no one has asked for years. "Martin, can you hear me?" The movement in Martin's eyes changes everything. Tests are done, and the truth comes out. Martin is not in a vegetative state. He has locked-in syndrome. Everyone is shocked. He learns to communicate with his eyes. Then comes the miracle of technology, a device that gives meaning to his eyes, allowing him to speak through eye movements. Slow, but miraculous. Over time, he uses a computer, socializes, and returns to life. He makes friends. In 2009, he marries the love of his life. He moves to England. He becomes a software developer. He gives TED Talks. He writes books. In 2018, he welcomes a baby boy into the world. That Martin, who was given 2 years to live, continues his life. Martin Pistorius' story reminds us of this. Sometimes all we need to do to understand that someone is there is to look into their eyes. The depth of the eyes sometimes reminds us of this. Quote once again: "The eyes, Chico, they never lie."
Like you. How do you know?
I know. The eyes, Chico, they never lie.
That's all from me this week. If you enjoyed the video, please remember how important your support is to me. See you in the next story.